The world's most beloved bear, Winnie-the-Pooh, and his best friend, Christopher Robin's adventures in the 100-acre wood are perhaps some of the most cherished tales told at bedtime. Now, the true story of this famous bear is ready to share in Finding Winnie, written by Lindsay Mattick, the great-granddaughter of the Winnipeg soldier who raised the real bear that was the inspiration for Winnie-the-Pooh, Captain Harry Colebourn.
This story has been a huge part of my life ever since I can remember. And there was really two things. One, we have these amazing things in our family, like photographs, my great-grandfather's diaries, so I always wanted to find a way to share those things with people who love Winnie around the world. And I also knew that at some point I was going to have my own child, and I would want to share this story with him or her, and I thought a children's book would be a pretty amazing way to do that. So my great-grandfather was a Canadian soldier and veterinarian, and on his way to war in 1914, he got off a train in White River and he bought a bear cub from a trapper, and he named her Winnipeg, Winnie for short. And he took her all the way to England, and she lived with him for about 4 months in the army camps, and then he had to go to the front lines in France. He knew it wasn't safe. So at that point, he needed to find a new home for her. He took her to the London Zoo in England, and while she was there, she met lots of visitors, but in particular, she met the author A.A. Milne and his son Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin loved Winnie. She was very friendly and well-trained, and as A.A. Milne was writing his stories, Christopher Robin had renamed his stuffed bear Winnie after the real bear Winnie, and took inspiration from her name.
Finding Winnie is a true story about one dear man's compassion and remarkable relationship with the bear that inspired A.A. Milne's Winnie-the-Pooh, and it is truly a gift to Lindsay's son Cole, short for Colebourn.
It's so important to share stories. It's so important to ask questions. I love that this story came about because I was able to ask my grandfather about his dad. I was able to see his diary from 1914 and see these photographs. And one of the things I hope that comes out of this is that as parents are reading this story to their children, that their children ask them questions about where they came from and their backgrounds. And I think, you know, some of the most amazing stories, as this story is, are true. And when kids have that curiosity and have that sense of wonder, amazing things come from that.
For Shaw TV's Go, I'm Tracy Koga.